Prynawn da, a chroeso I ddinas Caerdydd ac I seremoni arddio Prifysgol Caerdydd. Good afternoon and welcome to the City of Cardiff and to the graduation ceremony of Cardiff University. My name's Hugh Jones, and it's with great pleasure that, as Secretary to University Council, I welcome you all to today's graduation ceremony. We are here to celebrate our students' achievements, and I'm particularly pleased to welcome parents, family and friends to join in this celebration. I'm joined here on stage by the Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, academic staff and the Students' Union representative. The Chancellor of the University, Professor Sir Martin Evans, will formally open proceedings, and then the proclamation will be read by Ellery Williams from the School of Law. Following this, we have a slight change to the running order, where we'll present our newest honorary fellow, Kevin MacLeod, who unfortunately has to leave early. Following this, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Colin Reardon, will receive students to their award. Now, on my left, just to clarify, is Professor David Skilton, the university's orator, and he'll be introducing Kevin MacLeod for the honorary fellowship. These are awarded at our graduation ceremonies to those who've achieved international distinction in their field, and we're honoured to welcome Kevin today. Students, today marks a marvellous moment in your life, as it does in the lives of those who have supported you over the last few years, and it is very good to see so many of them here today. I'm sure it will enhance your understanding and enjoyment of the day if we spend a few moments going through the procedures for the ceremony. For those of you receiving an award today, perhaps you thought passing your exams was the biggest challenge in gaining your degree, but there's an even bigger challenge here today. You have still to cross the stage and shake hands with the right person. Try not to seek your award from anyone other than the Vice-Chancellor. The order of proceedings is included in the programme, along with the words used for the various stages of the ceremony under the relevant heading. A presenter will read out the names of the students being received to the same award. When each name is called, the student will ascend the stage, walk towards the Vice-Chancellor and shake his hand. Whilst past experience has shown this to be a little more challenging than it sounds, your approach to the stage and your return to your seat will be carefully guided by our marshals, so don't worry. Once the ceremony is underway, follow my leader is the watchword. When you leave the stage, you will stand with your group facing the stage, and the Vice-Chancellor will formally receive you to your awards. You will doff in reply, and you will then be reseated by the marshals. When all awards have been received, students will be asked to stand to receive the university's greeting. Also, can I invite you all, family and friends, save your applause until after the Vice-Chancellor has admitted each group of students to the award. Now, at that point, cheering and whooping and hollering is all definitely in order, but if we do it in a group, it is much better on the hands. And finally, can I ask you to check and ensure that your mobile phone is switched off? Thank you and enjoy the ceremony.
Prynawn da. Good afternoon. Welcome to Cardiff, to St David's Hall and our 2013 graduation ceremony. I am Professor Sir Martin Evans, and I'm privileged to be Chancellor of Cardiff University. Now, congratulations. All of you sitting there, calmly waiting to be admitted as graduates of this magnificent university, deserve congratulations several times over. Firstly, congratulations on winning admission in the first place. Cardiff is one of the most sought-after universities in the UK. Admission standards are high. Selection, as you may remember, is extremely competitive. And for every one of you sitting there, 6 or 7 other applicants were fighting keenly to be in your place today. I did say one of the most sought-after universities in the UK. I should have said most sought after in the world, because many of you will have travelled great distances for the challenges and rewards of a Cardiff University course. Cardiff students are valued around the world for their skills, knowledge and attitude. Secondly, congratulations on your years of study here. Research-led teaching is one of the distinctive features of Cardiff University. Your lecturers are some of the most original and pioneering thinkers in their fields. Many of you will have participated in research projects, learned to ask new questions, to challenge conventional wisdom. Whether you stay in academic research or pursue another career, I hope that the free, inquiring Cardiff state of mind will stay with you. We also pride ourselves on involving you, the students, in the development and direction of our courses. And this year, 79% of you took part in the National Student Survey, placing Cardiff's response rate significantly higher than the sector average. You gave us feedback on your experiences at Cardiff in areas such as assessment, learning resources and personal development. And your opinions will help us greatly in planning for the future. You should also be congratulated for studying at the fine academic schools represented here today. The Welsh School of Architecture is one of the very best schools in the UK. You will have benefited from a unique design, research-led education, embracing both local and global issues, delivered by a blend of renowned practitioners, researchers and specialists. Needless to say, the school's graduates are very much in demand and can be found in some of the world's most interesting practices and design organizations. The School of Chemistry has a track record of internationally leading innovative research across the chemical sciences. As graduates, you can be justifiably proud of the school's excellent teaching programme, the accreditation of all your degree schemes by the Royal Society of Chemistry, and the employability of former students with over 80% in managerial or professional jobs or undertaking postgraduate study 6 months after graduation. The School of Computer Science and Informatics is one of the UK's premier schools in its field. This year, the school has been climbing up the ranks of important league tables and once again getting great student feedback at the National Student Survey. Now, more than ever, prospects for employment post-studying computer science and information systems remain very strong, and graduates move on to some of the best major UK recruiters, including Hewlett-Packard, BT, EADS, IBM and GCHQ. The School of Mathematics is one of the UK's leading providers of professional training. The school is proud of its distinctive research-led teaching, giving students a feel for recent exciting discoveries in mathematics and science generally, whilst also underpinning several vocational disciplines. Many of you will have benefited from spending a year out in industry, giving you a clear advantage in the graduate employment market. Scientists within the School of Physics and Astronomy are world leaders in their field. The school infuses its teaching programme with current research, offering students the opportunity to work on projects as part of an active research teams. Last year, graduates from the school went on to design the next generation of Land Rovers, forecast the weather at the Met Office, and treat NHS patients with life-giving X-ray therapy. Amongst this year's cohort, we have graduates going to work at the Bank of England, in laser development, missile guidance, and a dedicated few training to teach and inspire the next generation to study physics and astronomy. Congratulations too on what you have brought to Cardiff and to Wales. In recent years, students have successfully combined study with setting up their own businesses, and their efforts have helped the homeless here in Cardiff and paid for clean water in Africa, among other causes. And sport plays an important part in the university life, and your contribution has been enormous again this year. You retained the Varsity Shield for Cardiff, and others of you have competed in the international stage in rowing, cycling, judo, and more. One of our fellow students, Jenny McLaughlin, achieved Paralympic success, winning a bronze medal at the London Games, which is a great honour for both Jenny and the university. Many of you have taken part in Student Volunteering Cardiff, one of the largest such schemes in the country. You have given more than 80,000 hours of your most precious commodity, your time. That's in the past year, and helped more than 900 people every week. You're a prime example, a prime reason why Cardiff University is so valued in its home community. So congratulations to all of you who have graduated today. We all know what an achievement that is, and how many individual efforts and struggles the successes have entailed. But congratulations also to the hard-working staff who have taught you. And, most importantly, congratulations to family, parents, partners, husbands, wives, and supporters, many of whom will have given so much towards your success. We owe a lot to the support of parents, family, partners, both moral support, guidance and encouragement, but in many cases also considerable financial support. And I would encourage those of you who graduate today to send your heartfelt thanks to everyone who has helped you. Now, a word to you, the new graduates. Please enjoy today, but don't think it's all over. This is the beginning of your future. You're entering upon a process of lifelong learning, and your tutors will hope that much more than the knowledge they've imparted to you today is an understanding of methods of learning, of analysis, which should serve you well for the rest of your days. Go out into the community, your community, to educate, to explain evidence-based knowledge, to encourage thought, not prejudice, and to be prepared to defend education. Derek Bock, former president of Harvard, said, "If you think education is expensive, try ignorance." And Charles Darwin, whom I've been reading recently, said, "Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge. It is those who know little, and not those who know much, who so positively assert that this or that problem will never be solved by science." Now, I really think you should be using the knowledge that we have for the good of mankind. But I'm also keenly aware of potential abuses and misuses. We are bombarded by partial and sometimes biased and misleading information, and I feel by far the best prospect for responsible application and regulation must lie with a better informed public. You, the modern graduates, must provide that information. You may like to consider a perhaps pessimistic quotation from Francis Bacon: "Things alter for the worse spontaneously, if they be not altered for the better designedly." Or perhaps Thomas Jefferson: "The price of liberty is eternal vigilance." So be well informed and vigilant. And just to hammer home the point, I'd like to quote from an address by Susan Rice, the permanent US ambassador to the UN. She said, "Progress is the product of human agency. Things get better because we make them better. Things go wrong when we get too comfortable, when we fail to take risks or to seize opportunities. We're now in the second decade of the 21st century. You will be amongst the professionals who will need to lead this and other nations, and it will not be an easy job. There's a lot to be done, and I hope you leave here with a solid determination to contribute to the culture, welfare, and prosperity of your family, your communities, and of mankind. So I urge you to be the gatekeepers of good sense and the educators for tomorrow. Good luck.
I will now read the proclamation, first in Welsh, then in English. Nerth gwlad eu gwybodaeth. Boed hysbys i holl aelodau'r Brifysgol ac ar hyd a lled y byd fod cynulliad o Brifysgol Caerdydd yn cael ei gynnal heddiw ym Mhrifddinas Cymru. O dan awdurdod siarter frenhinol y Brifysgol, mae'r cynulliad hwn yn cyfarfod i dderbyn y myfyrwyr sydd yn rhinwedd eu hastudiaethau a'i hysgolheictod, wedi'u haroli yn briodol yn unol â statudau'r Brifysgol ac wedi'u cael yn deilwng o'i graddau. Wrth ddathlu llwyddiant y rhai sy'n graddio yn y cynulliad hwn, fe'i hatgoffwn o'i cyfrifoldeb i gyfrannu o werthoedd y Brifysgol hon. Nod iddynt hwy yw ceisio, drwy eu cyflawniadau, wasanaethu ar lles pawb, ymdrechu i sicrhau rhagoriaeth ym mhob peth ac yn boeni am ddyfodol ein byd. Gwrandewch yn awchus ar ddoethineb, gan ei fod yn cynnig gobaith a gwirionedd ym mhob cenhedlaeth. Nerth gwlad ei gwybodaeth, a nation's strength in its learning. Let it be known to all members of the university and throughout the world that today in the capital city of Wales, a congregation of Cardiff University is taking place. Under the authority of the university's Royal Charter, this congregation meets to receive those students who, by virtue of their studies and scholarship, have been appropriately examined according to the statutes of the university and found worthy of their degrees. We celebrate the success of those who graduate in this congregation and in doing so, remind them of their responsibility to share in the values of this university. It is for them to seek, through their achievements, to serve the common good, to strive for excellence on all things, and care for the future of our world. Be attentive to wisdom, for it offers hope and truth in every generation.
Vice-Chancellor, a great change is coming over our built environment, or, as we are honouring Kevin MacLeod today, should I say our built environments in the plural? For one of the striking things about Kevin MacLeod as a designer and an advocate of good design is his sympathetic understanding of the differing needs of different people, of different times and at different places. Not for him a one-shape-fits-all solution to our environment, to our homes. Architects, you know, this might surprise you, have not always been renowned for their flexibility. When the Scottish-American multimillionaire Andrew Carnegie was refurbishing his grand house Stevo Castle near Dornoch, he labelled one of the portraits he hung there, "Our architect, yet our friend." Kevin MacLeod, one feels, would like to be memorialised in that way, but not so much by plutocratic clients as by the far wider spectrum of society he encounters in his remarkably successful television programme with the subtly ironic title, Grand Designs. Despite this title, not for him, those beautifully fenestrated multiple occupancy buildings which beautified Paris in the early 18th century. How fine it was for the passer-by to admire windows in such orderly array. But those not among the wealthier inhabitants might not even have a window, or it might be in quite the wrong place. So it is important that one of the great services Kevin MacLeod has done us and continues to do us is making architectural issues discutable, as the French say. There being, I must say, no exact equivalent of that word here, as we have long preferred to inherit traditional practice with its illusion of freedom of choice in a world of conventionality. Choice is now becoming real. Not the choice of ornament in a family house chosen from a catalogue, so much as choice summed up in the name of MacLeod's firm of developers, HAB, happiness, architecture, beauty. This new architecture is non-prescriptive, in contrast to modernism, and is responsive to individual lives and personalities. Why, he asks, shouldn't one's house tell one's autobiography? Why not respond to its overall environment? Why not create an awareness of community? Why not aim to pass a habitable world on to our grandchildren? In the course of his advocacy, the poor old British vernacular house comes in for some severe treatment, which makes one almost sorry for it. After all, for a very long time it answered the developing needs of certain social classes in terms of way of life, the ideology of the home, the ideal of conformist individuality. It did this so well a century ago that we're still building thousands of examples of the same thing, exactly the same thing, to this day. We are slow to change in the United Kingdom, and that is where a first-rate communicator like Kevin MacLeod is so valuable. He diffuses the idea among us that housing can be made right for context, socially appropriate, enjoyable, and not least affordable. His personal favourite Grand Design cost just £28,000 and was built by a Sussex woodsman from the coppice trees in the woods in which it stands. Sustainability is one key. Place houses in a landscape to make use of the lie of the land. Build not with concrete but with hempcrete, which is carbon neutral or marvellous to relate, even better than neutral. Look at the carbon footprint of the building over its whole life, and not just the carbon cost of putting it up. Above all, avoid the bullying orthodoxies of the 20th century and tolerate variety. After all, to judge from MacLeod's remarks on the Prince of Wales project at Poundbury, one man's sustainability can be another man's fuzziness. We shall be watching HAB's eco-sustainable housing projects in Swindon and elsewhere with interest. Will the notion of forming a community with our neighbours take off? Or shall we be disappointed as we were with some of those idealistic Scandinavian experiments of the 1960s and 70s? We shall see. But the important thing, sir, is that, urged on by such as Kevin MacLeod, we're beginning to make the effort. Anrhydeulus is ganghellor cyflwyno fi ti Kevin MacLeod fel Cymrawd Eryngrydydd Prifysgol Caerdydd.
Coel awdurdod aroddwyd i mi gan y Cyngor, derbyniaf chwi fel Cymrawd Eryngrydydd Prifysgol Caerdydd.
Thank you. I don't feel as I need to say anything more now, since your orator has produced a fantastic new brochure for my business. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Fellows, ladies and gentlemen, graduands and graduates, thank you. This is a great, great honour for me. Thank you. It's very exciting to be stood here, not simply because I have the opportunity to wear this fabulous fancy dress. I was nearly accosted on the way here by a man in a bright red furry dragon suit in the street outside, and I thought for a minute that might have been reserved for me. But I'm especially delighted to be here today for another reason, nothing to do with me wearing this or receiving this great honour. It's because my own son is receiving his Masters of Architecture today, this afternoon, Hugo. And that's... No, there's no reason to applaud him at all. But he, along with many of his colleagues, is leaving this place after 5, 6 years, I think. So I already feel very much intrinsically part of the fabric of this place, having paid for some of it for so long. And equally, I'm enormously proud because this school, the Welsh school, is, by some accounts, ranked number 2 in Great Britain, although I think within these walls everybody would agree that it's number 1, no doubt. Yes? Absolutely. And I look forward to meeting more of you and coming across you again in your professional spheres. I hope even to be able to work with you, alongside you, perhaps someday. Mine is a much less, if you like, a direct route into my profession. It's the road less travelled via studying music, languages, I then changed to philosophy, then history of art and architecture, before then retraining as a theatre designer. And I became a professional student for some while. And these are, of course, the marks of a true Renaissance idiot, really, unable to determine his path. And on the other hand, they are also the great marks of a jack of all trades, which is the ideal set of qualifications for a television presenter. I say that I travelled a road less travelled. It's true. It sort of went like this rather than a straight line. I'm equally aware that it's possible to take a trajectory through life which is very direct and very purposeful. And in fact, I would argue that one of the great secrets of professional life and professional happiness is arriving at that point when you know what it is that excites you and drives you and takes you forward. If you don't yet know that, it doesn't matter. It will come. In fact, if you don't yet know that, I have some words of advice that I can give you from my own experience. Just to say a little bit about being a piece of telefluff and what that involves, just in case you're thinking about television presenting as a career, I wouldn't advise it. A friend of mine says that presenting television is a little bit like being in the army. You know, we shoot stuff, but without bullets. And we're in the field, in the trenches, getting rained on all the time, receiving orders from some far distant office. And we operate rather like a platoon in the field, so that we have our commissioned officers, such as the director and researcher. We have our non-commissioned officers, like the cameraman and sound man. And a producer, a friend of mine, recently ran through this list, and only to then stop because he couldn't figure out what job I had that was in any way comparable in the military. And then he lied to me. He said, of course, Kevin. He said, you're not an officer, and you're not a squaddy either. You're the regimental mascot. Anyway, there is some customary advice to be offered on these occasions. I have done a little research, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the apparent glittering prizes which lie before you. Those glittering prizes that the first Lord Birkenhead, F.E. Smith, described. I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson who said, you try, you fail. You try harder, you fail harder. Bart Simpson said, you tried your best and you failed miserably. The lesson is, never try. But he's a yellow cartoon. My favourite quote, which I do try and adhere to sometimes, and it's worth remembering because it's such an elegant one, it's from Mark Twain, redoubtable author of Bon mot. He said, it is better to say nothing and appear stupid than open your mouth and remove all possible doubt. Anyway, to be a little bit more positive about this, I do believe personally that life is an extraordinary adventure. Your Chancellor has already hinted at that. The road less travelled, to quote M. Scott Peck, who wrote that book of that same title. He said, "Life is complex. Each one of us must make his own path. There are no self-help manuals, no formulae, no easy answers. The right road for one is the wrong road for another. The journey of life is not paved in blacktop. It is not brilliantly lit. It has no road signs. It is a rocky path through the wilderness." That sort of suggests, doesn't it, that we all need our hand holding. And I suppose the only thing I can leave you with from my own experience is the thing I learnt very late, which is not to be, or try to be, too self-reliant, to instead rely on the genius, the energy, the brightness, the contributions and the passion of those around us, whether they're family or friends or colleagues. Michael Dell of Dell Computers, he said, "Try never to be the smartest person in the room. And if you are, I suggest you invite smarter people into that room, because in professional circles, that's called networking. And in organizations, it's called team building. And in life, it's called family and friends and community. We are all gifts to each other. And my own growth has shown me again and again that the most rewarding experiences come from my relationships." I couldn't agree with that more. The idea of sharing, whether it's sharing in a slum in India or sharing in a community here, sharing stories, library books, whether it's sharing a sense of humour, a meal, professional experience with colleagues, sharing is an extraordinary human gift that we all possess the power to give. And sharing is the great secret of social sustainability. It is the great secret of making our lives that little bit happier and more content. In the great path to those glittering prizes in the pursuit of failure or success, I don't want to sound too hippie-ish, but I believe the great thing to believe is that we should share the load and share the love. Thank you.
I, Professor Philip Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Arif Ahmed Avandi, Sophia Ahmed Zahuradin, Zulia Balsavia, Anastasia Barkovskaya, Joseph Capilvio, Fong Hai Chang, Yu Chen, Chayapom Chinatako, Joanna Chow, Thomas Cooper Cooks, Ellen Davis, Fergus Dinwiddie, Tansy Alice Grace Duncan, Benedict Edwards, Thomas Fairbrother, Sam Giles, Katie Rebecca Godding, Sophie Rose Gunn, Juan Jose Guru Ramu, Jane Lillian Hakes, Natalie Hamshaw, Karima Marianne Hassan,
Good afternoon, everybody. In a moment, I'm going to receive this group of students to their degrees, and I'll be doing that with every group that comes up, and I'll be using a sentence in Welsh. which means, through the authority conferred upon me by the university, I receive you to the award, whatever it may be, and all the honours and privileges pertaining thereto. So that's what I'm about to say now, and I'll do it for every group. Rwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniad chwi I raddfaglor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffreiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Daniel Hayes, Rory Oliver Holding, Kenny Aikagoya, Elliot Samuel Jeffries, Caris Anghara Jones, Lewis Jones, Aida Kirikibaiva, Catherine Yingmin Leung, Sarah Erica Leonetti, Yirong Liao, Madeline Victoria Loftus, Amber Athena Luscombe, Bryony Martin, Molly McIlveen, Tan Shermin, Bianca Elena Moldaviana, James Morris, Camille Munro, Elizabeth Joanne Musk, Yasneel Singh Panasar, Emmy Papanikola,
Rwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniad chwi I raddfagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffreiniau radd hon. Congratulations.
Jay Patel, Catriona Alice Pratt, Amy Roberts, Anna Ronaine, Yolanda Sanger, Jenny Ann Saunders, Victoria Ann Savage, Alexandros Louis Savidas, Chara Simatu, Ka Chun Alex So, George Valentin Soa, Jamie Squelch, Olga Turtsi, Alika Akaterina Varlamidi, Thomas Edward Wakeman, Alexandra Ruth Azabar Walker, Eric Wong, Chu Chang Yong, Poya Sand.
Rwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniad chwi I raddfagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffreiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Philip Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Architecture. Andra Elena Anton, Joseph Andrew Armitage, Jack Bailey, Sarah Ann Barlow, Sarah Magdalena Brown, Oliver Burgess, Emily Jane Carr, Sarah Louise Collingwood, Luke Davis, Aaron Ewin, Christina Ingegerd Firm, Christopher Frodsham, Catherine Glossop Jones, Jonathan Harker, Catherine Rose Hart, Alice Catriona Harwood, Emma Claire Howard, Gabriella Herrick, Helena Christova, Rory Hume, Nathan James Humphreys, Siwan Glein Evan, Bethan Margaret Mary Knights, Prudence Lay, Sean Myler Floyd,
Troi awdurdod y Brifysgol am ddyddiadoedd I mi, derbyniaf hwy i'r athro mewn pensariniaeth ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Lee Marable, Gabriella Martino, Hugo Patrick Roger MacLeod, Laurie Mackenzie, Henrik Mordell Mayer, Anthony John Newton, Kate Alexandra O'Neill, Morgan Beach Parrack, Alexander Graham Pullin, Wen Chin, Adam Richardson, Sean Ellen Rockwood, Chao Shen, William Sinclair, Timothy Skinner, Thomas Smethurst, Charlotte Smith, Matthew Smith, Gregory Stonard, Elizabeth Clare Ju Chiang Venning, Ashley David Watkins, Sophie Caroline Wallace Watkins, Richard Watson.
Rhoi awdurdod y Brifysgol am ddyddiadoedd I mi, derbyniaf hwy i'r athro mewn pensarniaeth ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Dr. Christopher Morley, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Adam Bolson. Nathan Lee Bater. Emma Victoria May Brooks. Louise Karen Evans. Sophie Ann Flanagan. Kieran Garland. Gemma Leslie Gilbert. Catherine Marie Griffiths. Daisy Ingram. Kirsten Patricia Johnson. Samuel Lane. Sophie Helen Langley. Bianca Marie Patel. Emma Marie Maxted. Epi Wauni Pickford. Katie Louise Rees. Abigail Smith. Ricky Simons. Rima Trofimovate. William Thomas Wallace. William Watkins. Alexander Welchman. Timothy Whiteside. Callum Wood. Sarah Yates.
Troi awdurdod y Brifysgol am ddyddiadoedd I mi, derbyniaf chwi i'r raddfagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac eich hoff reiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Dr. Christopher Morley, introduce those who have received the degree of Master in Chemistry. Jonathan James Barry. Oliver David Bird. Emir Boleglimat. Antonio Roberto Cirillo. James Daniel John Corcoran. Katrina Jane Cox. Ben Davis. Gareth Rees Davis. Kelsey Ann Dobbs. Oliver Thomas Donovan Shepherd. Nathan East. Matthew Foley. John George Gately. Darren James Gullen. Jack Niels Huffenden. Scott Haymore. James Andrew Huns. Misha Hunt. Samuel Alexander Jobbins. Joseph Philip John. Gareth James Jones. Yuri Kolharvey.
Troi awdurdod y Brifysgol am ddyddiadoedd I mi, derbyniaf chwi i'r addathro mewn cemeg ag I hoff reiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Hannah Elizabeth Joy Laycock. Sapphire Marnie. Jordan Dominic Marinaccio. Owain Gareth Meredith. Gareth Stephen Miles. Ramota Alatunda. Andrew O. Robert James Perry. Danielle Jane Alice Pomfrey. Michael James Ramselar. Geraint Rhys David Roberts. Daniel Say. Daniel Smith. Gregory Smith. Alexander Smith. Emily Claire Stokes. Cara Lily Thomas. Lauren Jane Thomas. David Edward Tucker. Jessica Mandy Waite. Matthew Anderson Wilson.
Troi awdurdod o Brifysgol am ddyddiad oed I mi, derbyniaf chwi yr arathro mewn cemeg ag i'w holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Philip Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Architecture: Hugo Patrick Roger MacLeod.
Troi awdurdod o Brifysgol am y ddyddiad oed I mi, derbyniaf chwi i'r arathro mewn pensaernïaeth ag i'w holl freiniau ar radd hwn. Well done, congratulations.
I, Professor Roger Whittaker, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Matthew William Philip Eash. Joel James John Atkins. Mustafa Azadin. Leela Barami. Adam Bolton. James Briggs. Philip James Brownless. George Gordon John Buckingham. Thomas Bullock. Adam Lloyd Carpenter. Samuel William Chess. Matthew Charles Cridland. Michael Crosscombe. David John Evans. Michael James Graham. Christopher James Hall. Thomas William Hartley. William Ibbotson. Oliver Jarrett.
Rhai awdurdod y Brifysgol am ddyddiad oed I mi, derbyniaf chwi i'r arathbaglwr mewn gwyddoniaeth ag i'w holl freiniau ar radd hwn. Congratulations.
Alexander Edward Jones. Matthew Robert Jones. William Jones. Louise Knight, David Daniel Lowe, David Mannering, Stephen Oakley, Derry O'Grady, Christopher John Parry, William Pitt, Elish Rhiannon Potter, Adam Rain, Jordan Robbins, Joe James Starling, Alistair Nicholas Steele, Brent Stevens, Liam Turner, Kirill Ivanov Velev, Stefan Rees Walters, Kyle Webster.
Dwi awdurdod o Brifysgol am ddyddiadoedd I mi derbyniaf hwy I raddbagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I hoff reiniau y radd hon. Congratulations.
Daniel John Workman, Andrew Ronner, Alan Richard Milcoy, Chow Guo, Umar Ali Khan, Jake Samuel Middleton, James Matthew Price, Samuel David Gibbon, Charlotte Elizabeth Lippiett, Simon Jonathan Williams, Hugh Arwell Backhouse, Rhys Batcup, Samuel Robert Charles Boys, Jenny Carter, Jessica Chorlton, Elliot Cook, Natalie Elizabeth Crawford, Charlotte Caroline Doherty, Daniel Luke Evans,
Dwi awdurdod o Brifysgol am ddyddiadoedd I mi derbyniaf hwy I raddbagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac ei hoff freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Robert John Grierson, Joshua Harmon, Nathan Paul Horner, Samuel Jones, Michael Kong, James Mark Mackenzie, Ellen Caris Morgan, Ben Murphy, Kerry Ann Murphy, Laura Nathaniel, Bethan O'Brien, Thomas Albert Owen, Lucy Ryan, Charlie Riley, Daniel Setters, Grant Spencer, Danielle Thomas, Megan Emily Vaughan, Lowry Williams.
Roedd awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbyniaf chwi i'r raddfagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac ei holl freini a'i radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Russell Davis, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Florence Bailey, Gareth William Bentley, Bernard Charles Collett, Gareth Philip Davies, Catherine Jones Davies, Hannah Denley, Caitlin Walker-Francis, Elliot Green, Bryn Hall, Kerry Hill, Sally Louise Hill, Benjamin Jenkins, Lucy Claire Jenner, James Ian Thomas McGaw, David John Mills, Noor Nabila Mokhtar, Sophie Catherine Rose Naylor Osborne, Gwern Owain, Rupert Parry, Theodora Piper, Ben Pomeroy, Adam John Price, Christine Slater, Joseph Taylor.
Rhai awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbyniaf chwi i'r raddfaglor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac i holl freini a'i radd hon. Congratulations.
Brian Lee Thomas, Stuart James Veck, Samantha Louise Vickery, Matthew Westlake Toms, Lauren Beard, Luke Ross Burnett, Luke Dalton, Matthew Cullum De Filippo, Ellery Evans, Daniel Gary Foster, Sarah Garnish, Bala Halai, Catherine Louise Harrison, Charles Killer, Deborah Laurie, Kimberly Sarah McLaren, Gareth James Morgan, Kerry James Morse, Alexander William Ramage, Christopher White, Joanna Zetta, Peter Pratt.
Rhai awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbyniaf chwi i'r raddfagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac ei holl freini a'i radd hon. Congratulations.
Emily Ann Baker, Amy Elizabeth Bailey, Neela Roran Bigonzi, Ellen Burney, Charlotte Jane Bethel, Leanne Elise Brown, James Cheeseman, Thomas David George Coxon, Emily Kate Davies, Zoe Hayward Davies, Rachel Ann Dexter, Abby Difford, Grace Francombe, David Gill Welsh, Sarah Griffiths, Charlotte Harrison, Michael Paul Harrison, Megan Harve Herbert Evans, Alaw Grieg Evans, Fionn Jones, Rodri Wyn Jones, Johanna Christa Lawrence, Matthew Ben Lely.
Rhaid awdurdod y Brifysgol ymddiad oedd i mi, derbyniaf chwi i radd bagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac i holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Owen Lloyd, William Samuel Dewi Lloyd, David Marsh, Hannah Elizabeth Mays, Samantha Marie McAvoy, Emma Nelson, Stephanie Price, Lucy Jane Rees, Christopher Nathan Richards, Jean-Marc Roberts, Laura Doreen Robertson, Philippa Jane Rook, Robin Rosser, Sean Salter, Andrew Samuel, Eleanor Elizabeth Savage, Isabel Rose Symes, Dominic Charles Stewart, Ashley Daniel Taylor, Rhian Ann Thomas, Alex Whitmarsh, Henry Wildey, Claire Lauren Wilson, Mohammed Al Yanai, Shiba Elizabeth Ziengi.
Rhaid awdurdod y Brifysgol ymddeod i mi, derbyniaf chwi i radd bagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac i holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Russell Davies, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Mathematics. Joseph Charles Bailey, Edward James Lewis,
Frederick James Foreman Simons.
Tre awdurdod o Brifysgol am ddreroed i mi derbynnu a chwi i'r addathro mewn mathemateg ac ei holl breniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Dr. Bernard Richardson, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Geraint Davis. Tom Thurston. Francis Westcott Thomas. Nicholas White. Ashley Williams. Nicholas James Conroy. Megan Rose Davis. Cleon Francis. Gareth John Havard. Mark Richard Houlston. Owain Emir Hughes. Jake Kinghorn Mills. Christopher Lawrence. Georgia Mayor Marguerite Muggleston Mancheshaw. Elliot May. George Samuel Pierce. Peter Edward Rees. Gareth Michael Smith. Johanna Stansby. Alison Sian Llewellyn. David Gooding. Ion Thomas Williams. Conrad Axelson. Henry Hawkins. Parth Patel. Andrew Richards.
Tre awdurdod o Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbynnu a chwi i radd bagor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac i holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Dr. Bernard Richardson, introduce those who have received the degree of Master in Physics. Gemma Rebecca Lavender. Christopher Lovell. Jade Powell. Jonathan Anthony Williams. Luke James Baker. Owen Kai Boardman. Oliver Ryland Denton Turner. Max Emery. Jonathan Luke Evans. Alison Florence. Shani Ho. Perry Vaughan Jones. Simon Keohane. Michael Lewis. Ian Alexander Meek. David James Owen. Gareth Michael James Pickford. James Smith. Simon Paul Stevenson. Ryan Henry Stock. Rhys Lewis Welbioff. Andrew James Williams. Owain Hugh Williams. Alex Hugh Wood. James David Abrahams. Wesley Alsop. Sarah Jaffa. Simon Paul Schofield. James Innes Stevenson.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol am dderiadoedd I mi, derbynu ar chwi i'r addathro mewn ffisig ac I holl freini ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Karen Holford, introduce those who have received the postgraduate diploma. Richard Henry Croydon.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol am dderiadoedd I mi, derbynu ar chwi I diploma olraddedig ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Karen Holford, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Science. Zoe Natasha Bassett. Shah Naveed Chowdhury. Evan Thomas Jelly. Nestora Santanois. Evangelia Klekzaku. Essie Mumku. Scott Board. Benjamin Charles Brain. Keith Bugler. James Carter. Nanshai Coloma Lewis. Bethan Kathleen Dighton. John Mark Douthwaite. Roger Patrick James Glanville. Adam David Gorman. Wilm Vincent Jones. Julia Kennedy. Anne-Marie Naismith. Hayley Louise Rand. Rebecca Alice Smith. Alexandra Samantha Jane Walker. Kaiko Sinyangwi. Thomas Jeffrey Watkinson. Nicholas William David Clark.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol am dderiadoedd I mi, derbynu a chwi i'r addathro mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Ruth Kathleen Ryan. Peng Shuang Wang. Arania Anthopoulou. Esther Comma Bassas. Karen Louise Elliott. Maria Yona Katsaru. Zoe Nasu. David Roger George Parr. Igerim Seljuoli-Yeva. Emmanuel Triandafilopoulos. Dimitra Chesnelli. Fabrizio Variale. Diana Carolina Waldron, Sing Shaw Shan, Katie Erin Spinlove, Liam Thomas, Samuel Bidemi Adeboya, Timothy William Beaton, Jade Emma Bird, Alison Eleanor Francis Evans, Lima Kepalaiti, Ka Wai Liu, Jean Marie Maguire,
Rwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbynu a chwi i'r arathro mewn gwyddoniaeth ac i holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Carla Alana Jewel McCarthy, Andrew Victor Nelson, Sophie Petas, Kane Thomas Putman, Ian Thomas Reynolds, Thomas Michael Robert Watts, Maria Wiltshire, Shaylee Begum, Tahira Baig, Mohammed Jabeg Ahmed Chowdhury, Natalie Coyne, David Rees Farrant, Caroline Maytak Nixon, Nyanyana Chiamaka Nosuigbu, Fionn Hav Roberts, Alisavat Tumasi, Mohammed Said Mansour, Michael James Davey, Elizabeth Christina Doe, Sabine Gruger, Philip David Harfield, Krithika Ramesh,
Rwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbynu a chwi i'r arathro mewn gwyddoniaeth ac i holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Karen Holford, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Philosophy. Alexander Thorne,
Rwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbynu a chwi i'r athro mewn athroniaeth ac i holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Karen Holford, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Mujab Ahmed, James Kenneth William Aldridge, Mona Ali. Alicia Anton-Jacques. Asim Ala Abdul Hussein Balakit. Martin James Chorley. Suzanne Klaus. Catherine Jane Davis. Ihab Al-Jindi. Simon James Freakley. Christine Victoria Gaskell. Mansurai Godsi. Mark David Hampton. Jessica Louise Hatherley. Penny Louise Holborn. Daniel Gordon John Hughes. Stephen Robert Hughes. Matthew Hutchings. Isabella Comenda. Ross Maguire Kinch.
Rwy awdurdod o Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbyniaf chwi I ddaddoethyr mewn athroniaeth ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Wei Yi Lu. Sean Thomas Mutter. Eva Nowicka. Laura Kate Natal. Christopher Michael Andrew Parlett. Catherine Rachel Sampford. Greg Michael Shaw. Claire Shelley. Samuel Schatz. Andrew William Thomas Smith. Leanne Smith. Matthew William Langford Smith. Lou Sun. Adam Thetford. Robert Hugh Thomas. Julie Leanne Vile. Cheryl Varaki. Lucy Ann Wilcock. Joe Oliver Wilkes. Joanna Malgorzata Sajek.
Fwy awdurdod o Brifysgol am reeroed i mi, derbynu a chwi i'r addoethir mewn athroniaeth ag eich holl freiniau radd hwn. Congratulations.
Can I now invite all of you who have received your awards this afternoon, the ones with the hats, to stand so that you can receive the greetings of the Chancellor, Professor Sir Martin Evans, and Megan David, the representative of the Students' Union. Thank you.
May your care ever be for the good name of the university and the well-being of our world.
You are now members of the distinguished alumni of this university. May your association with the university be cherished and be constant throughout your life, and may your care ever be for the fellowship of our university and for the welfare of all people.
And before you sit down, I'm sure that all of you very proud graduates would like to join in a long-standing tradition at Cardiff University at these ceremonies. And that is to pay a special tribute to your families and friends who've supported you in so many ways over many years, not least financially, and indeed to thank the academic staff and those others who have helped you reach this important point in your life today. Can I therefore invite you to turn around, to greet your family and friends, pick them out in the audience, and to say a special and public thank you to them all by giving them an enthusiastic round of warm applause. Thank you very much.
Please sit down. As Chancellor of this university, I now have the duty to draw these proceedings to a close. This occasion is naturally one of the most pleasurable in the university calendar. It's a joy to be on this platform and to see the pride and the relief of all the new graduates as they cross the stage here. And it's wonderful, too, that you've had the opportunity to share this occasion with today's illustrious honorary fellow, Kevin MacLeod. And I hope you enjoyed his rousing speech, his exhortation to go forward into the future. And I trust that the pride and joy that you feel today will stay with you always. In the years to come, you'll look back on your time in Cardiff University and realise that the happiness that you have experienced, the friendships that you have made, and the depth of knowledge and experience gained will have served you well in your journey through life. Today, you join the worldwide family of Cardiff University alumni. It's a family that helps you stay in touch with each other and with us. I hope you'll remember and share your experience, and that you'll come back to see us often, and you'll continue to support us so that new generations can benefit, as you have done, from the outstanding teaching and learning here at Cardiff University. So, on behalf of the university, your academic staff, the officers, your fellow students, and that great body of alumni throughout the world, may we wish you every success in the future. Good luck. Safe journey home.